This is Senior Snare Drum Solo number 1 by Mike Sartini. Okay, let's go through the etude. So, starting off, 8th note at 140. All right, so I've got my metronome set there. The opening and closing themes of the piece are actually much slower than they appear. So if that's the 8th note, all right, so it's not a fast figure right at the beginning. So a lot of the key to this piece is the space between relatively slow and relatively fast figures. For all of the rolls in this piece, except the section at the end that I'll talk about as its own thing, I'm using a 16th note triplet bass. So this first quarter note roll I'll play as a 6-tuplet. All right, and trying to keep the roll nice and open, lots of buzzes in each stroke. Okay, so the first couple bars. That dotted 8th note in measure 2, and then it appears again at the end, is much longer than you think it is, right? So be patient. I'm playing all the flams and drags so far with all with my right hand so that I can keep the sound consistent measure to measure. The 7/8 bar. So we have our first move between 32nds and 16ths, and that'll play a key role in the piece as we move forward. So here's the 7/8 bar. Then we have a 3/8 bar with 32nd note triplets. So these are not the same speed as the bar before. They're twice as fast now. So here's the 7/8 again. And then the 3/8. Dot, digga, dot, dot, digga, digga, dot. The next measure, I'm going to play all of the 16ths with my right hand and bring out the accents on the flams. Then another 32nd note passage. Then immediately down to mezzo piano for this half note roll. So that's going to be, if we're using triplet bass, that's going to be 12 notes in that roll. And then again, this triplet's 16th note, so it's slow. Then back up again, we have a repeat of the 2 bars from the last line. And then a 16th or 32nd note figure here. Make sure your right hand's going to keep running for several bars here, so make sure that the left hand notes speak as loudly as the right. I'll play all of this 3rd line here. Right, so I don't want to hear. You got to get the left hand up. Then on beat 3, all the way down to piano, but not all the way down. It's not the softest moment in the piece. So piano flam, nice and crisp. Then we have 4 bars up and down, 32nds and 16ths. So you're going to play up and then right hand down, alternating up and then right hand down. Sartini does not tell us how loud to get. I'm going to about mezzo forte-ish. Use your own musical instincts and figure out how loud to go. You don't have to go as loud as you want, or as loud as you can if you don't want. but give us a little sense of the crescendo and decrescendo. The first one goes up from piano and then back down to piano. The second one goes all the way down to pianissimo because we have a pianissimo on the next line. Right, so here's the 4 bars. Right, so you should be finishing quieter than you started. Okay, next line. Very, very tight, very, very crisp. Make sure you stay in a part of the drum where you still get snare response. Don't play all the way at the edge where you don't get any snares. You still want to get tight, crisp snare response. And I'm just doing this sort of all right-hand lead. 2 little accents at pianissimo. They're only accents at pianissimo, so don't slam those. Okay, these 2 16th note triplets do not crescendo. You are going to want to because you have a lot of space to cover between pianissimo and the fortissimo on the next line. Do not crescendo those. They are very clearly marked without a crescendo. Right, so you have triplet, triplet, then a fortissimo note. So it's not, right, don't lead up into it. All right, here's that line again. Sorry, one little flub there. Okay, then the next line is all hand-to-hand accents at fortissimo. It's basically in groups of 5. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and then you have a crescendo coming up. So I'll just play this down tempo a little bit. And then it ends with forte, not fortissimo, forte marcato accents. So a little more weight, not as loud as you can play, but heavy. All right, so here's that line up to tempo. Right, and when we couple that with the line before, at pianissimo, right, notice the subito dynamic change from pianissimo up to fortissimo. Okay, next line, then we have to wait 2 full 8th notes. This is much slower than you're going to want to feel it. So 1, 2. Then a dotted quarter note roll. I'm playing that as a 9 starting on my left hand. So 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a. Right? And only mezzo forte. Don't play the roll too loud yet. We have a long period at mezzo forte, and it doesn't get to forte again until the very end of the piece. Right? So 1, 2. Then each of these 8th note rolls, I'm just playing as triplets off the left hand. Then, this is interesting. We have the quarter note roll, 6 just like at the beginning. Then we have a roll on the 16th note tied into the quarter note. So I'm playing this essentially as a 7 starting on my left hand. So if I was just to play the skeleton of this measure, this is the 3rd measure of that line. Now once I add the roll, you're going to want to cut the second roll short. Make sure you keep your buzzes really long so that you give the bar its full duration. Then we have the opening theme again. Right, and again, that dotted 8th note's a little longer than you're going to want to feel it, so make sure you be patient and subdivide. Then we have the 7/8 figure again. Right, so now material from the beginning is going to start coming back. The next 2 bars, all of the triplets, the 8th note triplets, I'm playing with the right hand and playing right hand flams. And they're not accents. I'm giving them a tiny, tiny stress because they're flams, but they're not accents, so I don't want to hear. It's just a tiny stress. The 16th note triplet with my left hand. Now I'm on my right hand for the quarter note roll, 6 tuplet. Right, so that bar. And between the 16th note triplet and the 6 of the roll, the hand speed is the same. Next bar, play through with your right hand, then the roll at the end, a 16th note triplet with your left hand. All right, so I'll back up to the 7/8 here. Okay, and again, only mezzo forte. The next bar, playing hand to hand for the first couple bit, right up to there, and then flam, 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 drag, all with my right hand. And not accented, just at mezzo forte. Okay, the next figure. This is an interesting roll figure. So what we have essentially is an extended buzz roll that has accents in a specific rhythm. And so Sartini says at the bottom, buzz roll throughout, but make the accents a single stroke. So here's how we're going to work on this. I'm going to give you 4 ways to work on it that build up to the roll. So the first, I'm just going to tap the 8th note with my stick here, and I'm just going to play the rhythm of the accents over those 4 bars, right? Right, and then that's the release out. One more time. Okay, I'm going to take the click away now. I'm going to play all of the 16th notes, which is going to be all right hands. So, and I'm still going to play the accent pattern. I'm just filling in the rest of the right hand notes. Again, 2, ready, go. And I'm trying to make a clear difference between the notes that are accents and the notes that are not. Then I'm going to add in the rest. I'm going to add in the left hand, so that's your 30-second notes. There are no left hand accents here, so the left hand's going to stay low throughout. Again, 2, ready, go. Then that hand motion, I'm going to keep that hand motion, and I'm going to add the buzzes. This is quite fast, so you have to stay relaxed and keep your arms moving in rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Again, 2, ready, go. And again, I'm not overplaying the accents. They're only mezzo forte. So if I take us through that whole sequence there, I'll just put tiny little gaps in between, but here's how the whole practice sequence would work. And again, this has been successful for me. So that's how I would work on those 4 bars. Then we have a little figure that repeats, again, 30-second note triplets, not 16ths. Okay to do those accents with the left hand. Then this 5/8 figure that looks like a figure we had up in the 3rd line. 6-tuplet for the roll there. Forte with 2 accents at the beginning of the figure, right? So we've been at mezzo forte, and then we're going to have a dynamic jump up. So if I start on the last line in the 2nd measure with the 30-second note triplets at mezzo forte. And then I have the dotted 8th figure with the flam and the drag again. Notice this time the drag has a marcato at the end. It's the end of the piece, so you want that note heavy. Lots of arm. Don't whip your hand farther. Play with more weight. All right, so that it jumps out. All right, let's play through the whole piece again.